What's up guys? Today I'm going to show you how to change the tires of your motorcycle. Now I am not using the tire changing machine. I am using these pliers to remove and install the tires. So basically this means this is something that you can also do in your own garage. Okay, first the preparation. I have a piece of 2x4 right here. It's about 180 centimeters long, roughly about 6 feet. And I'll try to cut this in 4 pieces like that. And then I'll make something like this, and this will be a nice base block for the wheels. You know, when you look at the wheels, there's a wheel rim and then there's a hub in the middle. Hub usually is wider than the actual width of the rim, so you need a little space here and have that offset from the ground, so you can put the wheel on top of that and you can work on that without damaging the hub. Alright, so I cut these 4 pieces all in the same length, exact same length, nice and precise. Now when you take a look at this, you can see that you only need drilling holes there but not on this side. So I just need to draw a line here on one side and drill the holes there. Now some of you guys may be wondering why I'm making this block in this shape. I have 2 reasons for that. One, by having these areas, these can support the tires. Okay, not just the wheels, but tires around that. The second reason is that if I'm changing the tire that is bigger than Virago, I can move this over here, I can move this outward, so this will be a completely convertible wooden block, a wheel pedestal, or whatever you want to call it. Alright, all good, it's ready to be used. Okay, so important tools. Pliers, I have 3 of them. And I have these little plastic pieces. You can do the work without damaging the rim by using these. And the tires, Dunlop Kabuki D404. Same kind, same brand, both for front and rear. That's the size for the front, and that's the size for the rear. You need tubes too. Front and rear. Okay, so let's go ahead and lift the bike and remove the rear wheel. Now take a look at the brake shoe. The service manual says the minimum thickness for the brake shoe, the pad here, needs to be 2 millimeters. Let's check it with this. So it's like that. It's roughly 3, so that's not bad, that's pretty good. Let's check the thinner area. It's usually thinner here, close to the spring. Yeah, it's a little less than 3, but it still is okay. So, yeah, brake shoe is still good. It's kind of dirty inside, so I'll probably just clean that before I'm installing the tire. Alright, so the wooden block, it's a perfect fit. Just like that, very nice. Now, first thing you want to do is loosen this up. You want to take this cap off. And then inside there's like a little inner core inside of the valve, and then you actually do need a little tool like this. It's a little screwdriver, in a shape like this. Can you see that? Yeah, to get the core out of the valve. Okay, so the core can pop out, so just be careful. Just do it slowly. Now loosen this up. Okay, now I push the tire inward because it's sort of like sticky around here. You know, it's been there for a long time, so you just push that. You can put your weight on it like that, like this. Get this tire off the rim, both sides. When your tire is hard, like you know, in winter, it's old, whatever the reason, you can try using this, but you may not want to force it too much. What I have done is I have put a cloth here, and then I use that to push the tire inward to give a little opening, you know, in here, so the tire now gets in between the wheel and the tire. Now it's in there, so I can gradually loosen this up like that, and then I can start using just pliers to get this tire off the wheel. Put your weight on tire like that. Look inside and make sure that you're not touching the tube. There you go, it's out now. I can get this one out like that. There you go, one side is off the wheel. So the next step is to get the tube out of the tire. So let's take this off, and you want to push that in all the way, and then you may want to peek in and then see where the tube is. Now put your weight on, open it up, and then get your hand inside of the tire, and then pull the tube out of the tire. There you go. Nice and smooth. Okay, so I had the plastic cover here, the side you just worked on, and then that side is still in the wheel, in the rim, so you may want to pull this out of there, okay? Okay, so after you're using the pliers to open up the space between the wheel and the tire, you can place a piece of wood like that, you know, something like this. A very small thin piece would be nice. So I continue to open up the gap between the wheel and the tire. I'm pretty much there. I mean, you know, I started here and now it's there, so you know, I just go like that and then just continue to open up the space. You can always slide this to the direction that you're working on, so like that. Okay, there you go. It's coming off. There we go. Before putting the new tire and the tube, let's make sure that you clean the wheel. You know, dust off inside, make sure nothing weird is in there. For those who are using the laced wheel, you probably should replace the rubber band which should be in there. This one is a tube tire, or tube, you know, the wheel for the tube tire, but there is no rubber band because it's a cast wheel. But with the raced wheels, you have the rubber band in there, which should be replaced every time when you change the tube and the tire. So, okay, so let's go ahead and clean the wheel. Okay, so here's a comparison. The old tire and the new tire. You can definitely see the difference, can't you? You can actually see how flat this old tire is, you know. It's flat only in the middle, you know, I'm cruising, so, you know, that's the only part I use. Anyway, let's go ahead and install this new tire. Here's the procedure. I am going to install this tire on the wheel, but only on one side. use a plier and get one side in and then one side open, and then I'll place a tube inside. The tube should be slightly inflated, just a little air is okay. After getting the tube inside, make sure that your tube is fitting in there well, and then you place this other side, the open side of the tire, into the rim, and then the fitting is complete. And you feel the air inside, install this wheel and tire on the bike, and then you're good to go. By the way, you may want to look at this number. 35 is the week when the tire is made, so it's some point in summer, and then 24 is the year. So this tire is made in summer 2024. Now you also want to look at this and drive with the arrow. So let's double check the rotation angle. Okay, there's an arrow there, so it should rotate this way, and then this is the brake side, the drum brake side, so that should be on the right side of the motorcycle, so this should be good. Let's go ahead and install just one side of the tire into the rim. Now the plier is already in there. The tire is about halfway into the rim, so what you can do is put your weight on like that. Okay, you can wear the pink slippers if you want, and then secure this side. You don't want this side to come off the wheel, so secure that side, and then you pry it like that, okay, with your weight on, and then it goes like that. So you continue to repeat these steps until you get one side of the wheel, one side of the tire into the wheel. There we go, one side of the tire is in. So let's go ahead and take these little plastic pieces off. So I have this thing called bead cream. You want to put this on the tire, well, in between the tire and the wheel to make it slippery. Now if you do not have that, a soap water or dish soap would be okay too. And this is like a wax, like that. Just a little is okay. Let's start placing the tube in the tire. Just make sure that you don't do any kind of like pinching. Just do it slowly. Okay, so now I put a soap water on the rim of the tire, okay, both sides. There's a product called bead cream, and you can use that if you want. For me, I'm doing it in a way so anyone can do it at home in your garage, so I'm gonna just use a soap water. Try to apply it nice and thick this side too. Okay, so I am starting to put this tire back on the rim completely, starting from the opposite side of the valve stem. You usually have 3 going at the same time, so get these plastic covers ready. Have this ready. Okay, like that. Just make sure that you look inside and you're not pinching the tube inside. You don't want to pinch the tube inside. Alright, so make sure you put the weight where you finished, so you save what you have done. Putting a weight is like, clicking the save button, like when you're, doing your work in computer or playing games. Valve stem is right there, so I am almost there. This could be the very last one. There we go. All good. Now, let's take these out. Make sure that this valve stem is fitting there snugly. Okay, and then tighten it, just hand tighten it, just for now. Alright, 220, all good to go. Okay, so now the nut around the valve stem is tight. Well, it's tightened snugly, not super tight. And then let's just put this cap on, and then it's ready to be installed on the bike. Okay, so the rear tire is done, completely done. And all I gotta do now is to replace the front tire, which usually is easier than the rear tire. Just a couple of things I forgot to mention. If you do not have the air compressor at home, just fill it in with the bicycle air pump and then just go to a gas station and give it a full pump. And the other thing is that when you first install your tire and then you give an initial pump, like a full pump, like 200 kPa, it could be okay for that moment, but later when you check it, it's not quite a full pump anymore. So you have to give a second pump after a little while. You just have to wait for a little while to have the tire settle in the wheel.